Kevin is 23 years old. He lives in Phoenix. He works a decent, entry-level job. He pays his own rent on time. By all traditional metrics, Kevin is doing everything exactly the way society told him to. But then, late one Tuesday night, sitting on the edge of his bed, he opens his banking app, $184. After rent, groceries, his car payment, and basic bills, that is all that's left. Kevin has no real savings. He has no high income skills. He has no exit strategy, just a job he barely tolerates, an endless cycle of scrolling through TikTok, and a desperate, exhausting wait for 5 p.m. on Friday. And the terrifying part? Kevin has absolutely no idea that he is quietly, systematically ruining his 20s. He thinks this is just how life is, but Kevin isn't special. Millions of people are following this exact same invisible blueprint, a blueprint designed to keep you exhausted, broke, and permanently trapped. If you want to reach your 30th birthday completely broke, trapped in a system you despise, and wondering where your best years evaporated, you are in the perfect place. This is your official step-by-step guide on how to absolutely destroy your 20s. Step number 1. The illusion of safety. To successfully ruin your 20s, the very first thing you must do is believe the outdated lie that the system sold you. The lie goes like this: go to school, get a safe local job, climb the corporate ladder, and eventually, the company will take care of you. It's a beautiful story. It worked flawlessly in the 90s, but today, believing this is financial suicide. Kevin got his safe job. It pays him just enough to keep him from quitting, but not enough to actually build wealth. But hey, it feels safe, right? To really perfect this step, you can do what Emma did. Emma wanted maximum safety, so she spent 4 years and $53,000 getting a highly prestigious degree in a field with absolutely zero market demand. She played by the rules. She followed the script. Now she's working at a coffee shop, paying off a mountain of debt for a piece of paper that an AI language model could replicate in 4 seconds. Excellent job, Emma. You successfully traded your financial youth for an illusion. Back to Kevin. By getting beautifully comfortable in his local, average job, Kevin is successfully protecting himself from the global game and any accidental chance of actually becoming wealthy. Your 20s are the only time in your life when your risk is mathematically zero. You probably don't have a mortgage yet. You don't have children depending on you to survive. If you take a massive risk, if you spend your nights trying to build an online business, learning global digital skills, or launching a venture, and you completely fail, what actually happens? Nothing. You lose a bit of time, you learn a massive lesson, and you go back to eating cheap ramen. Society completely forgives a 23-year-old living with roommates and driving a beat-up car. Your financial risk is practically zero, but to properly ruin your life, you must ignore this math. You must choose comfort over leverage. Kevin doesn't want to use his free time to learn high-income global skills like professional video editing, software architecture, or direct response copywriting. Why would he? That requires mental strain. Instead, he trades his most valuable, unrecoverable asset, his youth, for a local capped salary that is being actively eaten alive by inflation. So please, stay comfortable. Never build a digital lever that disconnects your income from your location. Just sit tight, keep digging in that local corporate mine, and pray the board doesn't replace your entire department with an AI model overnight. But wait, a bad job is just the foundation. We need to lock the cage completely, which brings us to step number 2. Step number 2 is my personal favorite, and it's a crucial component of the blueprint: lifestyle inflation, or, as I like to call it, buying your own prison. Kevin's boss finally gives him a 5% raise. Kevin is thrilled. He feels like he's making progress. So, what does he do? Does he invest that extra money into software? Does he buy a course? Does he use it to buy back his own time? Of course not. Kevin wants to look successful right now, so he immediately signs a 5-year lease on a brand new car. He upgrades to a slightly more expensive apartment because his old one didn't match his vibe, and buys the latest iPhone on a 24-month payment plan. Jason made this exact same mistake, but worse. His first real paycheck, he leased a BMW. He wanted to look like a millionaire at 24. But here's the brutal reality. Jason hates his job, but now, because of that car, he cannot quit. He is a hostage to his own ego. Do you see how beautiful this trap is? Consumerism in your 20s isn't about the objects you buy. It's about the handcuffs you willingly put on your wrists. When you scale up your lifestyle, the second you get a raise, you are putting a financial anchor around your neck. You are buying things you don't actually need, with money you barely have, to impress people on Instagram who don't even care about you. By inflating his lifestyle, Kevin has ensured that he must keep waking up at 7 a.m. for a job he hates. If you want to ruin your 20s, spend every dime you make trying to look rich, instead of actually becoming wealthy. But a drained bank account is only half the battle. To truly finish the job, we need to destroy your mental energy. Welcome to step 3. To truly destroy your potential, you cannot work alone. You need assistance. And the most effective way to drain your ambition is to anchor yourself to the wrong relationship. In your 20s, your mental bandwidth is your most precious currency. You need razor-sharp focus to learn new skills, build a business, or escape the matrix. Kevin actually had a good idea last month. He wanted to start a YouTube channel. He wanted to learn video editing. But Kevin is dating someone who doesn't understand the grind. The second Kevin sits down to build his future, the guilt trips begin. Why are you always staring at that screen? You care more about your stupid project than me. Everyone else is at the bars tonight. Why are we staying in? Instead of having a partner who acts as a multiplier, someone who supports his vision, understands his sacrifices, and builds with him, Kevin chose a partner who views his ambition as a direct threat to her entertainment, so Kevin complies. He closes the laptop. He spends his precious weekend arguing, navigating petty drama, and spending money he doesn't have at restaurants he doesn't like, just to keep the peace. By Monday morning, his mental battery isn't just low, it's completely corroded. He goes back to work empty, with zero cognitive energy left to change his life. If you want to ensure you never fulfill your potential, find a partner who falls in love with your current comfort zone and gets offended by your ambition, which brings us to the final, fatal blow. Step 4. The dopamine anesthesia. Look at Kevin's life right now. He has debt from step 2, an energy-draining relationship from step 3, and a dead-end job from step 1. His reality is incredibly uncomfortable. Now, a smart person would use that discomfort as fuel. They would use their evenings and weekends, the 5 p.m. to midnight window, to build an escape pod, but not Kevin. Kevin uses cheap dopamine to numb the pain. Take Mark. Mark hates his boss so intensely that by the time Friday night arrives, he cannot cope with his own thoughts. So what does he do? He goes to the club and consumes enough alcohol to chemically lobotomize himself for 48 hours. He spends hundreds of dollars to erase his own brain, wakes up on Sunday with a brutal hangover, and spends Monday through Thursday recovering, just to do it all over again. Mark isn't celebrating life. He is paying a high premium for an emergency exit from his own mind. Kevin's method is cheaper, but far more insidious. He is a professional content consumer. He lays on that couch for 4 hours every single night, endlessly flicking his thumb, mainlining short-form videos directly into his dopamine receptors. He watches other people travel the world. He watches other people build empires. He watches other people live extraordinary lives. His body is treated like a trash can. 4 hours of sleep, energy drinks, and processed food. When your physical hardware is broken, your software, your brain, cannot run properly. You experience brain fog. You lose the ability to focus on hard tasks. Kevin is spending the prime years of his cognitive life serving as a data point for tech billionaires, completely unaware that he could use those exact same platforms to build his own leverage. He uses Netflix, TikTok, and junk food as a cheap daily anesthesia, and it works flawlessly. Kevin is completely anesthetized, sleeping through his own youth, and when he opens his banking app on his 30th birthday, adjusted for 7 years of inflation, he still has exactly $184 left. He followed the blueprint flawlessly. He destroyed his 20s without ever making a massive, obvious mistake. He just made 1,000 tiny, comfortable ones. But here's the one thing they don't tell you. You don't have to be Kevin. The Matrix only works if you agree to play by its rules. If you stop consuming and start creating. If you stop inflating your lifestyle and start investing in your digital leverage. If you ruthlessly protect your focus from the wrong people, you can reverse this entire blueprint in less than 12 months. Your 20s are not a time for entertainment. They are a time for construction. You can reverse this entire blueprint in less than 12 months if you have the courage to choose temporary isolation over fake comfort. Don't let them turn you into Kevin. See you in the next one.